First of all, a few words of caution, a little warning. Look, the techniques that you will see where you need to breathe air, especially hot, dry air with the hair dryer or a heater, they seem to have a side effect. And the side effect is not nice. Is that your teeth begin to hurt. And they hurt because the root of the teeth probably becomes hot, and therefore later you get like the sensation that you have an infection in the tooth. It seems to be harmless because eventually cleared in my case, but it was not a walk in the park. I was having pain in different teeth and it was intense, like what you get when you have to get a root canal. So you may still try the technique because they are very good at killing the viruses, but see if you can protect your teeth. Also avoid exaggerating, right? You move slowly, probably it will be okay, but keep in mind that at least the experience here was exactly what I'm telling you, and it was not comfortable. Now, if you get the pain in your teeth, immediately stop breathing hot air from the hair dryer or the heater. But at the same time, I have to say that this is the most effective technique I have found to take care of the virus in the throat and deeper. So just go slowly. Doctors know that a badly cared cold is dangerous, regardless of what virus is producing the cold or the flu. So what is it, a badly cared cold? Well, if you ask other people, you will see that the common sense answer is that you have not been taking care of staying warm. Now, this answer is correct, but it's only partially correct. There are two things that are different here. One is to do not expose yourself to cold weather. The other one is to do not expose yourself to cold air. So, a little bit more explanation. You may be outside and grab quite a bit of clothing and feel very warm, but still, if the air is cold, you're breathing cold air into your lungs, and that is also a badly cared cold. Can lead to complications with your cold or flu, virus or coronavirus. So, if you are taking good care of a cold or a flu or a coronavirus, it means that you avoid cold air altogether. So that's the first thing we need to understand in regard to heat and viruses and coronaviruses. When your body lifts its temperature to fight a virus, it's doing it because it knows that the viruses don't like high temperature. And the same is true for the coronavirus, most likely. So a badly cared cold is dangerous, but obviously a badly cared coronavirus is even more dangerous. So by all means avoid cold air altogether. Do not go out even if the day is beautiful if the air is cold. So how can you use this vulnerability of the coronavirus or any virus in order to get your health back and go through a cold, flu or coronavirus without getting a pneumonia, pulmonia or any type of complication? How we can use heat to kill the virus or to decrease the viral load so that everything flows and you have a safe passage. This is a very simple heater, but it has a thermostat and it has two different levels of power, and it really does the job. It costs almost nothing. The branding is Next, and it really works, especially to leave it on your bedside table, which is a technique that I'm going to explain in a moment. So keep your room as warm as possible during the night, and then keep the whole house as warm as possible during the day if you are moving around. If you have a sauna at home, it's a fantastic tool, and use it, of course. If you don't, then you may be able to improvise a sauna quite easily. Look for a room that is really small. Often small blind bathrooms can work, or a closet, and then make sure there are no plastic things inside, big plastic things. Remove them, and you bring a couple of heaters like the one I just showed to you into the room, turn them on, block the exit of the air, because many of these rooms they have a fan, especially in the bathrooms. They have a fan to bring the air out. You need to block that with tape, and do not turn on the fan. Just find another way to bring light into the room, because you're going to be there for quite a few minutes. And then with two of these heaters, and sometimes with just one, you can warm the place quite well to a sauna level. If you cannot put two of them, two heaters, because you don't have them or whatever reason, then you can use one, but then warm up the room first, and then you enter. You leave it on for, let's say, an hour. The bathroom or whatever this little room is will become very hot, and then you enter and you take 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever length of time you want for your sauna. Basically, you want to come to a point that you're perspiring all over, right? And you have drops falling from your skin. You can find online what is the optimum time to stay in the sauna. But the sauna will remove toxins from the body, which is very good, but also will provide you with a very hot air environment that you will be breathing for, let's say, half an hour. So the benefits are immense. If you suspect that there could be paint containing lead in your home, do not produce an improvised sauna in the way I explained before. This is because the lead can contaminate your hot air inside the sauna and you will breathe lead. And that's a no. Another technique is to put a pan with hot water on top of your stove. Use the minimum fire or power in your stove just to keep the water very hot, and make sure you keep the pan closed, because you don't want to increase too much the humidity inside your home, because it produces fungus. So if you have hot water available, you may put inside some eucalyptus leaves. And if you don't have eucalyptus leaves, you can just put a drop of eucalyptus essential oils. And if you have eucalyptus leaves inside, drop the oil on top of one of the leaves that is outside the water. You will find that the smell will stay there for a longer period of time. Now, you will have a lot of vapor, water vapor, plus the vapors of the eucalyptus, and you bring your head as low as possible without burning yourself, and then you breathe deep and all the vapors into your lungs. It's very good at disinfecting your airways all the way from the nose to the lungs. Try to stay there about 2 minutes every round, and if you leave this pan in the right place in your home, then will be always available, and different people that may be experiencing a cold can make use of it. Put a chair in front of the pan to make sure that you are comfortable, so that you can stay there for a longer period of time. If you are uncomfortable standing up, you will last very little and you will feel tired and leave. You can also use a towel on top of your head. It really works. It creates a bubble of vapors of water and eucalyptus, and in that environment, sitting down, you can stay for quite some time, and it's great. You get a lot of hot air into your lungs and you disinfect your airways. There is another technique that you probably have heard of already, and I just want to add that it works very well. Make sure you're comfortable. You can lay down on your bed so that you can, again, you can stay longer, right? So you point to your mouth, and the best way to do this is to keep both airways open, the nose and the mouth. It takes a little bit of effort to master the technique of opening both airways, but when you do that, then you are disinfecting the pharynx on both sides, the side that looks to the nose and the side that looks to the mouth at the same time. And the pharynx is very important to disinfect it during a cold. So you point in this way and regulate the distance, making sure it's comfortable. Open the mouth. don't use the full power. This has two different levels of heat, 1 and 2. 1 is enough. Now, to improve the technique a little bit more, then you can do the following. You grab the eucalyptus oil and you put a little bit at the top of the dropper. You will notice the eucalyptus oil very clearly when it's going through, and it's also helping to disinfect your airways. The hair dryer technique works equally well with the heater. So if you don't have a hair dryer at home, use the heater. I'll show you. Find the right distance and just breathe. The final technique I want to mention is to put the heater on your bedside table. This works very nicely too. You turn it on and then you lay on the side and you're looking at the heater, and you're relaxed, you're comfortable, and you begin to breathe all this hot air. And with the distance from the heater to your mouth and nose, you can regulate the amount of heat that you can safely take in. When you are sick, you will naturally become quite sensitive to cold air, and then you want to avoid cold air at night. Then you use the heater on top of the bedside table, pointing to your head. But instead of sleeping looking at the heater, which you won't be able to do it, you turn the head to the other side. But still, the hot air will envelope you throughout the night, and you will have a better sleep, and you will feel rejuvenated in the morning. You will feel that, hey, I'm feeling better in the morning, which is usually the case, because during the night the body, the killer cells do their work, and they decrease the viral load, so the next day you feel better if you're having a flu or a cold. But in this case, you make sure that happens, because you will be surrounded by hot air all night. But well, this is something that some people cannot tolerate, but I have found it to be quite helpful.